Your brain is lying to you about stress, and the science behind why might just blow your mind. Today, we're diving into how to stay calm when everything around you is falling apart. Whether you're about to give a presentation, stuck in traffic when you're already late, or dealing with someone who knows exactly how to push your buttons. And no, I'm not going to tell you to just breathe and call it a day. We're going deeper with actual techniques backed by real science. Stick around because these work faster than you think. The 90-second rule. Let's start with something mind-blowing. According to Harvard-trained neuroscientist Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, when you're stressed or anxious, the initial physiological response in your body only lasts about 90 seconds. That's it. Just 90 seconds. When something triggers you, your amygdala hits the panic button and floods your system with stress chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart races, your palms sweat, you feel that tightness in your chest. So, why do we sometimes feel stressed for hours or even days? Dr. Taylor explains that after those initial 90 seconds, any remaining emotional response is us choosing to stay in that emotional loop. We keep the stress alive by replaying the triggering event in our minds, adding layers of judgment, catastrophizing about what might happen next. Think about that. Your body is literally trying to calm you down, but your mind keeps hitting replay on the stressful situation. It's like pressing the panic button over and over again yourself. The good news? Once you understand this, you can break the cycle. Technique 1. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method. Alright. Now let's get practical with a technique called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method. This is a sensory grounding technique used in therapy for anxiety, panic disorders, and PTSD. And it's ridiculously simple. When you feel panic or anxiety rising, do this. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Why does this work? Because you're hijacking your brain's attention. Instead of spiraling into anxious thoughts about the future or ruminating about the past, you're forcing your mind to focus on the present moment through your senses. This helps deactivate your fight or flight response and brings your nervous system back to a calmer state. The key is to really focus on the details. Don't just say, "I see a tree." Describe it. What color is it? What shape are the leaves? The more you engage your senses, the less mental energy you have left for anxiety. Technique 2. Box breathing from Navy SEALs. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't just tell you to breathe, but hear me out, because this is different. This technique is called box breathing, and it's used by Navy SEALs. Former Navy SEAL Mark Devine wrote about this in his book Unbeatable Mind and explained how he learned it for mental strength. Navy SEALs use this to stay calm and focused in literal combat situations. If it works when people are shooting at you, it'll definitely work for your stressful Monday morning. Here's how it works. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. That's 1 cycle. Repeat for at least 5 minutes. But here's the science behind why this works. When you breathe in, your heart rate increases slightly. When you breathe out, your heart rate decreases. By controlling your breathing pattern with box breathing, you're directly influencing your autonomic nervous system. The vagus nerve, which runs from your brain to your abdomen, responds to this controlled breathing by sending signals that activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode. Devine emphasizes that box breathing strengthens your mental power and can be practiced anywhere. In line at the grocery store, sitting in traffic, before important meetings, anytime you need to reset. The beauty of it is that it makes you alert but calm. You're not trying to relax into sleepiness, you're trying to achieve focused calmness. That's exactly what you need when stress hits. Technique 3. The acceptance approach. Now here's my favorite technique, and it sounds absolutely insane at first. When you feel anxiety coming, lean into it instead of fighting it. This isn't something I made up. It's called paradoxical intention, and it was developed by psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Here's how it works. Instead of trying to suppress the feeling or desperately trying to calm down, you do the opposite. You tell the anxiety, okay, let's see what you've got. Make my heart race faster. Go ahead, make my hands shake even more. I want to see how anxious I can get. I know that sounds completely backwards, but stay with me, because the research behind this is fascinating. Frankel discovered that when people fear something happening, like sweating in public or their hands trembling, that fear creates what he called anticipatory anxiety. And that anticipatory anxiety actually increases the likelihood of the very thing they're afraid of happening. It's a vicious cycle. One of Frankel's famous cases was a young doctor who was terrified his hands would tremble when the head of the department watched him perform procedures. Frankel told him, "Next time, try to show the director how much you can tremble. Really try to make your hands shake." And you know what happened? When he deliberately tried to tremble, he couldn't do it. The trembling stopped. By intentionally leaning into the anxiety and even exaggerating it, something psychological shifts. You break the cycle. You're no longer trying to control something that feels uncontrollable. You're actually giving yourself permission to experience the worst-case scenario, and paradoxically, that permission removes the power the anxiety has over you. The effort to control the outcome is what's preventing the outcome. The key here is humor and self-detachment. When you tell yourself, okay, anxiety, show me your best shot, you're creating psychological distance between yourself and the symptom. You're almost laughing at it. And that shift in perspective is powerful. Technique 4, the reframing trick. Here's something that completely changed how I handle stress. Your body can't actually tell the difference between stress and excitement. Physiologically, they're almost identical. Think about it. When you're excited, your heart races, your palms get sweaty, you feel butterflies in your stomach. When you're stressed or anxious, what happens? Exact same physical symptoms. The only difference is the story you're telling yourself about what those sensations mean. Research in psychology shows that when people reframe their stress response as excitement or preparedness, they actually perform better under pressure. So instead of thinking, I'm so nervous, I'm going to mess this up, try thinking, I'm excited. My body is giving me energy to perform well. This isn't toxic positivity. You're not pretending the stress doesn't exist. You're just changing the interpretation. You're not lying to yourself. You're choosing a more useful story. Look, staying calm isn't about becoming some Zen master who never feels stress. Stress is a normal human response. The goal is having the tools to manage your stress response when it actually matters. Let's recap. Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor's 90-second rule teaches us that the initial chemical response to stress naturally fades in 90 seconds if we don't keep feeding it with anxious thoughts. The 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 grounding method brings you back to the present moment by engaging your senses. Box breathing, used by Navy SEALs, directly influences your nervous system to activate your body's calm response. The acceptance approach removes anxiety's power by stopping the fight, and reframing turns stress into useful energy. The calmest people you know aren't calm because nothing bothers them. They're calm because they have these tools, and now you do too. Practice them before you need them. Try box breathing tomorrow morning. Use the 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 method next time you're in a stressful situation. The more you practice, the more natural these become. So the next time life throws chaos at you, and trust me it will, you'll be ready. You'll be the person everyone else looks at and thinks, how are they so calm? And you'll know the secret. If this helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more psychology-backed life hacks. Remember, calm is a skill, not a personality trait. See you in the next video.